Awaken the witch within. Charm reading. What magical powers are you activating and in what area of your life? Set an intention, take a deep breath. Where do we start, Spirit? Ooh, and it's funny, it was the camera. Let's see here. We've got the camera here right at the, this is career, business, and resources, but it's sort of in the mind. You may be working on bringing some of your visions into reality. This is giving creative projects. This is the producer sort of energy, acting, also like you doing it all, I'm getting. And here, stay the course is stay on the path, stay on the road, stay on the route, stay on route. Forgot what I wrote. And then this is subconscious. So again, bringing things from your subconscious. You've been reworking and redirecting your subconscious thoughts so that the projection outwards will match the inward feelings of what your spirit guides and you have been cultivating, especially in terms of stability, financial success, career, following a purpose that feels really purpose driven and fulfilling, following a purpose that feels purpose driven. I want you to remember also that the purpose of your life is also just to be present through every moment and experience. And as you navigate, this is giving sea turtle energy, divine timing and resilience, trusting in the divine timing of life, not rushing any projects or anything to fruition, but instead understanding that everything has its timing and it's sort of, angst energy in the background as you're processing this energy. Okay, and I'm gonna move clockwise here, so continuing to move into the subconscious and the mind here. I am really seeing with the moon, again, with cycles. There's the star energy. Stars tend, for me, symbolize the star card in tarot, the Aquarian energy, and I get a lot to do with your wishes coming to fulfillment, but especially having to do with certain cycles and certain rhythms. So pay attention to what astrology is going on. When I'm recording this doesn't mean it happens to be when you are finding it, but we are about to experience the thinnest part of the veil, with Samhain being tomorrow and the new moon being the day after. And this energy following suit, and it's also an 1111. So big new beginnings energy here with the numerological aspects. This is giving me, it's funny because I always thought it was a cheese grater, but it's actually the moon phases. And it's hard to tell because it's like the circle in the middle and then all the moon phases going out. I believe that's what it is. It's kind of an odd charm. And so things may not look like what you perceive them. It even could be like a tissue box. I just got that reference, especially here with the being on the butterfly wings of the elephant. Elephant spirit is really connected to our ancestors, and butterfly is all about transformation. So you could be transforming, or again, with these cycles, closing out certain frequencies and cycles that are deeply rooted and connected to your ancestors. You could even be maybe making a documentary or using your experiences from your lineage and your family's experiences to help transform the collective. Beautiful message there as we head into the body here. Again, kind of showing me a lot happening here in your body. And it's funny that the body, the mind, and there's nothing happening here in love and in not even in advice and guidance here. And remember, I'm talking about psychic or witch abilities that are being activated for you. I'm reminding myself of that as well. So in the mind, you may even have more of a clairvoyant visual representation of certain aspects, and even be able to see through certain cycles before things come to completion, because the moon is always full. We just don't always see the fullness of the moon. So trust that you can, your intuition is leading you forward. It's giving very high priestess energy, and trust that the frequencies in your body right now, especially with the deer, the acorn, and the dragon in reverse here at the roots, I'm getting a big sensation of replacing sacred rage with sacred joy, and letting that rage fuel that joy so that you can actually direct this frequency and this energy in a peaceful, serene, and grounded energy, a grounded matter. Especially having to do with here the badger. I really love seeing that the acorn is on top of the badger's magic, because badger is really, you can read the guide. I have it available on my website or my TikTok shop for you to read if you or work with. But I feel, I realize I'm talking kind of fast. I do channel really quickly, so I'm going to slow down for you a moment here, because I do feel that the badger, and not too much, just a little, The badger, don't slow down too much here. The badger spirit really works with our roots and our core energies that we carry forward unknowingly. This is giving very subconscious, like our body is not aware of the roots that are way down deep in our system. And with dragon, it has so much to do with, sacred rage and even feeling that anger and frustration. I even want to pull up the alchemy energy from the dragon, just showing you will help you really alchemize. And it also symbolizes embodiment. So I feel that this energy could be really helpful for you right now in order to really bring to fruition or to manifestation, like to the physical, some of these concepts and these, creative frequencies you've been trying to bring through. It's funny, as I moved into the body, things got so much more 3D heavy, and it feels so much more sludgy, like slow moving. So trust, especially with the acorn here, there's a lot of seed energy. Trust that there's been a lot of time taken, a lot of this emotion in the mind, so that you could water the seeds of the subconscious that you had just rooted, and that those things that were once keeping you trapped, you gave to source. As I move forward, it feels like there's no advice and no abilities. I also want to talk about that the dragon is all elemental. In the body, you could be having a lot more physical representation of feeling like this anchor in your magic and in your frequency when you're out and about. But I'm also getting a big ability to hold space. Another frequency here that's coming up is also this alchemy embodiment frequency. Like it's giving the quote by Marianne Williamson, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. I want you to look up that full quote if you feel called. Here, giving it to source, this energy here, the bird in the cage, in reverse, it's really giving me this surrendering frequency that you've been doing a good job at coming back to time and time again. I get that because of the fact that the dragon energy is here. Dragon, you don't work with dragon early on in your journey, at least most of us don't. You really, unless your main energy is working with dragon, because dragon is such a high frequency. They're very intense beings and very like having to see things from so many multi-dimensional, because they're connected to all the dimensions and realities. And we also, it's something that's interesting to me is there's so much proof and even in the Chinese astrology, you see all of the animals on the wheel, they're all real. The only one that is not real is the dragon. But I'm a believer that we really with time we forget a lot of things, and this is something with dragon. We just had a different adaptation that has happened in more of our recent media, as opposed to what I feel the real dragon frequency is. I also kind of tend to look at anything that we vilify or tend to put into a box of wrong or bad. Same with anything we put into the box that is good or correct or right. We're missing a big part of the coin. It's double-sided here. So if we can look at both sides, then we'll actually see the whole picture and hold space for all, and it will allow everything to be held. But as you've surrendered, I'm getting this dragon message that is coming up as I have to be this warrior, and instead I get to be this warrior. You get to show up and fight for what's right. And that's coming up here in the heart space that's down here at the bottom. So much. My throat chakra even just kind of caught a little bit. So much feels like you are called to action, and you can't help but to feel the frequencies from what is coming through from the collective. This is resonating so deeply with the pick-a-pile readings I just did on my YouTube. So if you happen to be finding this, I just posted a blank slate Samhain message on my YouTube. It's a two-pile crossroads reading, and I think that one of especially here with how things are kind of almost even looking like an X. Maybe you're an X-Men. You're stepping into your powers here. Because I also, with the sword, with this here, on top of the Hecate wheel, this is the sun and the moon here with a tree. This is, to me, always gives me the representation of temperance. And in your heart space here, I feel the sword is pointing outward towards the unknown. It's not pointing towards your inward heart space. It is keeping you safe and with boundaries. You see that the tree is on the bottom side of the moon here. We've had this crescent moon giving a sense of reflection, of mirror. The wires that have been crossed are now going to become more clear so that you can move forward and get the correct channels that you've been trying to tap into. And from a state of relaxation, you see this person's in a little tub of a bath ritual, taking the time. And it's funny because here's the TV, there's the film. Like you are like literally, it's perfectly, I love that. Look at that. It is literally a direct line to the TV. Anything that's not meant to make it by, that there's like action, there is giving it to source, there's surrender, there is grounding, and then there is the completion. I really think that there is any cycles of lack mentality or any ancestral lessons. Like I kind of even getting the mission, that message that the mission that you were coming for has been completed in such a beautiful way that you actually are moving forward to help facilitate things for generations afterwards that you weren't initially going to be working on. That they sent your, I'm hearing, energies that were meant to come. If you got pets or children, things like that, they came to help you because they needed to be part of this next phase of your generation, of your frequency, this next generation. I also am going to move through here over to the home and family. It's funny because I was just talking about children and pets, and here it is with the star energy again. That Aquarius, I feel a lot to do with pouring. It's funny because in the pick a pile, both piles did get the star card, and the star is coming up as a big collective message, especially with Samhain, the new moon. I think Pisces is like leaving Pluto is leaving Pisces or something like that and entering into Aquarius. I don't remember the exact. It's like a 16-year cycle. I did talk about that on YouTube as well, and I feel that there is like an acknowledgement of how much time you have given yourself, and so that you can actually hold the space for all of these parts of you. Look, I have one more charm here, and it's the home, a little nest. And I feel like the cup here, you're realizing that there was holes in it, but you're actually like putting it to use. It's almost like the holes, as it was flowing down, it is trickling the water, but not allowing you to lose all of it. And that is making its way down to your creations. And then this here is like giving me, I talked about that there was no love, but I feel like maybe the reason why it wasn't here in love relationships is because you've been cultivating it within your home space. And by doing so, like spirit is sending that energy towards you. You're not having to go out to check on it, attract it. You're just living it. You're embodying it. That's a big part of this. It's a big part of this message here. If this found you and this is resonating, you are embodying your highest self, your most aligned version. So trust in that. I hope that this resonated. Follow for more charm readings, tarot readings. If you'd like to take this further with a personal reading, you can check out my website, spiritguideapothecary.com. That's the only place you can book with me. I'll never reach out to you in personal DMs or anything like that to book with me. You can also check out all of my all-natural essential oil fragrance candles. They're made with Reiki infused soy and coconut wax and original artwork. I am the artist of these two guides here, the dragon and the witch, but I am not the artist of all of them. It is a wonderful collaboration. I really love making these different guides for you all, so I hope that you find a spirit guide that is calling to you. From here, the guides that I really feel for you, the moon spirit obviously is coming through really strong. The deer spirit came up really, really strongly. I will say that the turtle, because of all the star, I really think that the turtle is like the star card. So the turtle energy could be really powerful for you, and then earth, all the trees. You could also go for a bird, but I don't feel much like, the sword and the air energy. There's a couple wing references here, but I just feel like grounded, badger, grounded would be really helpful for you, especially with the fact that this is like giving me like a projector, like you're waiting for this to hit the screen. Okay, sending you so much love. Thank you.